Hello everyone, Phantom here. Welcome to my Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail playthrough. If you want to see what I'm up to lately, you can find me on Twitch at the link in the description below. While you're down there, consider subscribing or liking. It helps me and my human more than you'd think. Enjoy the show. Hello everybody, this is Phantom and I'm back for more Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail main scenario quests. We just wrapped up last time talking with a child affected by a sort of etheric disease, being too close to too much lightning ether, causing paralysis. So, kinda makes me think of, like, real world disabilities, like maybe autistic children. They're kind of trying to go that angle and be like, okay, well, we're not gonna tussle with the whole thing of like actual real world issues, but we're gonna make something up that kind of has the same thing where children are not, able to really enjoy their lives and as they should be able to, and that kind of thing. So I think it worked really well. So let us continue with the level 98 quests. Excited. Her people, her family. Having recomposed yourself, Sphene is ready to continue the tour. Well, let's continue the tour, shall we? Look, you obviously have duties to attend to, citizens to look after. We can stop here if you like. No, I do this because I want to, so please don't worry. Next I'll show you one of the district's most vital facilities, a place called Resolution. To reach it, you need to go by way of Ley Node 9, which is where the 8th branch is situated. Okay. So, we're gonna go up here. Which, thankfully, I've already been to. Unfortunately, it's guiding me there, so I have to go talk to them at the Aetherite node, or the Aetherite plaza, and then go up there. Which, I mean, okay. The conveyor head will transport you to the government sector, where Resolution is located. The markings on the conveyor indicate its direction. There is a pair just like it on the other side. Is it safe? Extremely. There's no need to be afraid. Who said I was afraid? Come on, Ollie. Yeah, you're wary of any kind of transportation now after the dirigibles got you the same way that boats did. That's kind of funny, though. This music's so good. Nothing to it, eh? A child's amusement ride. And here we are, Resolution, the operational heart of Solution 9. From Resolution, we oversee the running of the district and provide essential services to citizens, such as welfare support and job introductions. It's quicker to show than tell, so let's proceed inside.
Strange contraptions everywhere you look. What's that?
An infusion station. It dispenses souls in exchange for credits. Through hard work, citizens can obtain the peace of mind provided by spare souls. It's the way of life for Alexandrians and has been for quite some time. But I imagine it must be difficult for outsiders to comprehend.
That's putting it lightly. To be honest, it sounds disturbing. Still, I won't dismiss it out of hand. Practices like these don't arise from nothing. There's a reason why your culture is the way it is, and I'd like to understand. Won't you tell us some of your realm's history?
With knowledge comes appreciation.
Very well. Be warned, though, that it may take a while.
I didn't see a cutscene warning.
In the distant past, over 1,000 years ago, it said, lightning energy began to swell in our world. According to ancient records that date back around 8 centuries, the rainy season spanned a quarter of the year, during which time severe thunderstorms ravaged the land. 4 centuries later, this season had lengthened to nearly half the year. The trend continued, with our ancestors spending longer and longer languishing beneath storm clouds. Crops failed and livestock starved. But amidst this growing desperation, a miraculous material was discovered that promised salvation: electrope.
The stuff that's used everywhere here.
Indeed. One day, when out inspecting a forest after lightning had caused a fire, a villager came upon a curious black ore none had seen before. Testing revealed that the ore possessed a singular property. It could store lightning and convert it to other energies. In that instant, the scourge of endless storms became a blessing. Dubbed electrope, the ore found use in myriad inventions and dramatically improved people's lives. So much so, in fact, that all nations soon became dependent upon it, despite the difficulty of obtaining it in quantity. Supply was chronically scarce, and when nations couldn't meet their needs with their own deposits, some resorted to taking electrope from others.
Of course, it always comes to war.
Fighting was isolated and sporadic, until electrope came to be used in warfare. First in the weaponry of invaders, then in the countermeasures of defenders, and then in every aspect of combat where an advantage might be had. This served only to exacerbate the ore shortage, leading to further escalation. Before long, the entire world was engulfed in a terrible war known as the Storm Surge. As the war came to a head, Alexandria's neighbor, Lindblum, committed its stores of electrope to the production of a weapon of mass destruction. They deployed it on the front lines and triggered a calamity of frightful magnitude. Not even their own scientists had anticipated the force of the lightning that was unleashed. The energy inundated the entire continent, laying it to waste.
So So they detonated a giant EMP.
So that's how your world came to be this way.
Lindblom, huh? Final Fantasy IX much? Sounds an awful lot like an Umbral Calamity.
You truly know a great many things that I don't. I should like to learn about you too sometime.
I'm gonna pause here just to point out, this makes it very, very obvious that this is the world that was absorbed into the source during the second Umbral Calamity, which ended the first Astral Era. So, the technology of these people, this isn't first Astral Era tech necessarily, that would indicate that they're from the source during the first Astral Era. They're actually from another shard during the first Astral Era in the source. So they were in a different dimension, one of the 14 shards, or 13 shards that splintered off from the source. The 13th is the Void, the first we've already been to. And the Void was the mistake the Ascians made when they tried to cause a rejoining. They succeeded in a rejoining, causing the first Umbral Calamity in the first Umbral Era. Then the first Astral Era happened when everyone recovered. Then the second Umbral Calamity happened, which was the Calamity of Lightning. Because these people are obviously from another shard, not from the source, in a different time frame, or a different time, from a different part of time, it's pretty clear that their world being infused with more and more and more lightning energy, it was the product of the Ascians trying to force an Umbral Calamity to happen in their shard, thus causing the source to reabsorb that part of the world, that part of that reflection of itself that was shattered off when Hydaelyn broke Zodiark apart and splintered him across 14 pieces, one of which in the source, and the other 13 in the other shards. The real purpose of the Ascians in rejoining these was to rejoin that part of Zodiark back to the whole so they could have their god back. And so it's pretty clear that this is the world that was absorbed during that calamity, but that world should have been reabsorbed into the source. What these people did somehow isolated this part of their world so that it couldn't be absorbed, and they remained that way for however many hundreds of years, at least by their flow of time, it took for them to come to this point. So it makes sense that the whole thing still makes sense, because even though you have maybe the timeline's not matching up properly, time flows differently between different reflections, and also between the reflection and the source. So to me, it means that whatever they did with Electrope, it isolated them from the rest of their entire dimension, such that when it was reabsorbed into the source, this little pocket of Alexandria was left alone, and they've survived like that, with this one little pocket not actually being rejoined to the source still for millennia. It's very interesting lore-wise. This is incredibly... It's making my human's head spin.
But to continue the tale, the people of Alexandria had already lost much to the war. They lost almost everything else to the Levin. Those who survived bore deep scars, tormented by the memory of loved ones taken too soon. Though they yet lived, the cruel spectre of death was with them always. Seeking a solution, our scientists turned once more to Electrope, and after extensive research, they developed the means to preserve memory and soul. Physical death isn't the end. So long as our memories endure, we may live on. This belief sustained us then, and it sustains us now, granting us comfort.
That's quite a tale.
Your Majesty, help me! I beg you, help me!
What's the matter?
I've got no souls left. Not a single one! But the lot at Soul Supply refused to give me any! Please, you must do something!
My apologies, Your Majesty. This man, he does no work. Instead, he drinks his days away on Trueview. He has only himself to blame if he has no credits for souls.
That's not true! I'm a fighter at the Arcadian. Or rather, I was. I haven't been allowed to fight because of the King's decree. It isn't my choice.
I see. You're a brave warrior of the arena. I want to help you, I sincerely do. But I cannot give you preferential treatment.
Then open up the Arcadian again, so I can fight!
I'm sorry, but that's not my decision to make. The King requires feral souls for war. He doesn't wish for them to be expended on amusements.
You're useless! A queen in naught but name!
Insolent wretch! How dare you take that tone with Her Majesty?
It's quite all right. Such things don't bother me, nor do I think ill of this man. Hear me. Though I cannot grant you a soul, I mean it when I say I want you to live. I love all of you equally, dearly. You are as family to me, and it pains me to see you deny yourself hope. I want you to find a happiness all your own, even if you must grow it from the smallest seed of joy. Out there, somewhere, is a reason for you to smile again. We all need to vent our frustrations from time to time. I will always be willing to lend an ear.
Yes, Mum. Of course. Even without a spare soul, I suppose I'm fine as long as I stay in Solution 9. I apologize for my rudeness. Good day to you.
Keep your chin up, my friend. And when you feel better, I'm sure you'll find another way to apply your talents. I'm sorry you had to see that. Let's keep moving, shall we?
Wow, she really does love everybody. And I really don't want her to be a bad guy. Like, I really, really don't.
Right. I believe we've visited all the main facilities. With that, I declare our tour concluded.
That man from before, does that sort of thing happen often?
Somewhat. It's unavoidable. Hardships are a fact of life. Our soul management system has sustained our realm for generations, but it isn't without flaws. For one, people have become accustomed to having spare souls. Without them, they feel vulnerable and anxious. Some claim it may also have contributed to a decline in births.
Just thinking out loud, but would it be possible to do away with the system?
No.
I know it isn't easy to change one's beliefs and way of life. The Mamolja had their reasons for their reliance on blessed siblings, much as you have yours for souls. But if we defeated Zorolja, you'd be able to make all the decisions, right? Then we could work together to fix things, restore your realm to where it belongs, and see where we can go from there.
Come on.
Listen to me. There's something that I need to tell you.
What is it?
Actually, never mind. It's nothing of import. Well, it was lovely showing you around.
Of course. Of course. Thanks so much for the tour. We've learned not only about your realm, but you as well. For now, our priority is Zorolja. But once we've dealt with him, perhaps I can return the favor and show you to Lihiolal.
I'd like that very much. It seems I've no choice but to continue down this path. Forgive me, Vau Wuklamat, but I must disappoint you.
What's Fiend wanting to tell us, I wonder? Well, it can wait for another time. We've been exploring for a while now. I should probably go to Kakiwa's meeting point. I'll be back the way we came, I think. Let me lead you. We won't get lost that way. He's watching her too closely. I wish I could have just been like, okay, twice you've wanted to say something and haven't been able to speak freely. So I'm just gonna palm a link pearl, go up and shake her hand and be like, you know, thank you for showing us around. Slip it into her palm. And lean in and be like, put it to your ear. Sveen genuinely cares for her people. I can respect her for that. And thanks to her tour, I've come to better understand the lives of Alexandrians. They don't feel so strange and distant anymore.